Welcome back. You're now watching Passion Over Profits. I'm your host, Richie Rich, and today I have a beautiful couple as my guests. I want to introduce you to Mustafa and Ayhyssa. How y'all doing?
Oh, I'm doing
Amazing.
good.
Listen.
Yeah.
So the audience is those that are interested in understanding people who have a passion for what they do, and it's over profits. It's not about the money, but it's a passion.
Yeah.
So I couldn't think of a better team to have on the show here today. Okay? So before we get into that, just do me a favor. Just tell us how you two met, because that story is always mind-blowing for me.
You know something? I think, you want me to start it off?
Go ahead.
I think it's wow how we really met. You know something? When I first met Ayhyssa, I didn't really like. I met her at the market. It was like a little vegan market that I was at, and I was doing my own goddamn thing anyway. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is it okay that I say goddamn?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. I just want to check first.
There goes the passion.
You're right. They're really good passion. But when I first saw her, I didn't really look at her that way. I was just doing my own thing, and I remember she was telling me, "Try this water." I'm like, "Girl, man, water is just water." That's what I was thinking. Like, whatever, man. She tripping, whatever. You know what I mean? I drink water all the time. You know, I drink the Fiji, the Essentia. I drink the best water. So
Smart water.
the smart water. You know, at the time I wasn't listening. And then one day I like to do videos for people or whatever doing the market, and I did a video for her. And I remember when she was like, "Hey, try this water again. I'm going to leave you a bag of water. You do really good work." And I was like, "Man, let me just try this water." What the hell is she talking? Let me just try it anyway. And I think the biggest things that guys have, we have the most biggest egos in the world. And listen what I'm about to say. Sometimes our egos is so big, we will miss an opportunity that's right in front of us. That was my ego, because I was missing something that was right in front of me at the time. I decided to take this ego and put this shit to the side. And I said, "Well, let me just try this water. Let me see what's going on." And I remember when I tried it, I said, "Why do I feel this way? I feel different. Like, what's going on? Like, this is real." And I remember giving her that phone call. I said, "What is in this water?" And I'm going to tell you something, Richie Rich. She asked me $1 billion question. Do you know what that question is?
How do you feel?
No.
It's a good one.
What type of water do you drink? I said, "Shit, girl, I drink smart water, Fiji, Essentia." And I always say this, when you see something, you can never unsee it. This is real. You can never unsee it. When she showed me something, my mind was blown. And I was like, what? I was like, is this shit true? This can't be real. Because I was taught something all these years, all these plastic water bottles that we buy from the store, this is good for us. This is what I was thinking. And it was wrong, because you have so much microplastics in the water. And I was like, man, I have to sit with it, because I've been vegan for over 27 years. I got cured by Dr. Sebi. I was insulin diabetic over 26 years ago. So I know everything that's alkaline that's good for our bodies. Everything that was acidic is not. And when she showed me something, my mind was blown. It was a different story. It was a different story. But it goes deeper than that. And I'm going to let you tell that other half of that story when we went to the farm, when I said this shit is not a date.
Well,
Hey.
so from my side of things, it took over 6 months for Mustafa to even try the water. You know, over 6 months of like, "Hey, do you want some more information?" Things like that. And when we got married 3 months ago, the woman that opened up for us, she said, most people say love is in the air. She said, for these two, love is in the water, which I thought was so beautiful. But, you know, from my perspective, I'm just really passionate about helping people get educated and empowered. And I thought, what better place to do that than vegan markets, than spiritual markets, than moon circles, drum circles, where people are already supposed to be more open-minded and into their health. I thought there's no better place to share this than there. And actually, Mustafa was not the only person that was skeptical. It was a little bit difficult. Because I think people just saw me like this crazy water lady just trying to sell, you know, like water and all of that. So when things actually started changing, the moment that he's talking about where he was open to try the water, he made a video the week prior for me. And if you don't follow Mustafa already, you have to, because his content is just like this. And the video is so professional. And I felt like I needed to like pay the guy or repay or like exchange energy in some way to, express gratitude.
Right.
Said, can I like pay you $100 for this? Like, this is so professional. People should be paying you for these videos. And he's like, no. And I'm like, what? He's like, I just do this out of the kindness of my heart. I just want to help all the business owners here to be able to expand and grow. And I was like, wow, that's really special. What about food? Can I get you food? He's like, no, I'm good. He already had food from all the other vendors. So I looked around at my table and I had these 2 bags of water. And then that's when I said, hey, if I give you this water, would you try it? And what he didn't know behind the scenes is I was in a 90-day run for my movement to like not see anybody, not date anybody, not party, not go out, no drinking, no nothing. And my homework for the week was go out and get some content that you never got before. Like not your selfie pod,
Right.
tripod. And that just really like divine timing, right time, right place. He asked me if I wanted to get content that weekend. And the rest is history. We started getting to know each other and realized he was everything that I called in to my life as a partner. So
I love it.
yeah.
So what was it that you showed him?
What do you mean by that?
He was at you showed him something
Yeah.
that changed his life.
I think that's for you to answer. What you mean by
Well,
that?
well, actually, she showed me a lot of things. Is this the red? Is this the red?
Is this why you got married?
Where is this going?
But for real though, like, she showed me the alkaline water in a way where it changed my life forever. And I never forget this moment. We was in bed talking, and I looked at her and I said, look, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what the journey that you're on, this is something that I want to be a part of. And I said, can we be business partners? I don't care what's going on in the relationship. I don't have to see you anymore, but I just want to know that can we be business partner? Because the journey that you're on, I want to get on, and I want to live this lifestyle of helping people. And what I did is I got out of bed and I wrote on my board that I'm leaving my company in 90 days. And it's crazy because I left my company the 90 day of. And all the people that's out there that got a job that work, I want you to listen to this. I'm not knocking it at all. But for me, I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting home at 7 o'clock at night. Sometimes I'll be on call. And I was working for other people. And this is real. I was working for other people to build other people's business up versus building my business up. And Ayhyssa showed me a way how to work and how to build our business up. And the key thing is helping other people to build their business and for them to say, damn, I don't have to work for anybody anymore. I'm a part of something. I'm a part of this community that helps other people. That's one of the reasons. That's what she showed me. She showed me financial freedom. She showed me a different way how to think and dream huge. Because my mindset, and it always go back into the mindset, my mindset was in this work bubble because I only implemented what my grandfather did. I only implemented what my mother did. I only implemented what I saw my aunt did and everybody that did on the TV. This is a thing, that mindset I had. And once I started breaking that mindset and looking at the bigger picture, everything was changing. And I thank my wife for that. I love to say that.
Yes.
My wife, I love to say that. You have no idea. Look, I'm going to tell you, when we started today, I even wrote in my phone, this is my future girlfriend. And now I can say, this is my future wifey. And anytime I used to do podcasts, I'm like, hey, I want to give a shout out to my future wifey. I already knew and I already saw that she was going to be my wife because I was talking the shit into existence.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Before I get it, I have a question for you. But let's talk about the wedding. I mean, the marriage. When you did the vows, that was where? That was
In Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And I seen some of the pictures, and I could see why the lady said this. This couple, the water, brought it together. It was like right by waterfalls, right?
Yeah.
You visioned this.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Oh man, there's so much to share. I think the coolest part of it is within like a week of dating, I guess I was proposing in my sleep.
Hell
that
yeah.
I had no idea because I talk in my sleep. So the first gem to this is like so many people play games, you know, sometimes getting into relationships, not being really honest. Imagine if we were playing games and then in your sleep you're like, will you marry me? Like
Right.
that's so awkward. But Mustafa started having dreams of us getting married next to like water and a waterfall. So that really like came into, you know, like reality, and it started with a dream, like it started with those thoughts and speaking it into existence. And we chose Costa Rica because of waterfalls. People asked us why Costa Rica, or like because we always see there's waterfalls there, and that was just a must for it. But everything, you know, sometimes people don't realize the behind the scenes. You see like the pictures of the day of, and everything really turned out to be perfect. But what some people might not know, we had a flat tire in the middle of the jungle the night before with my grandpa who's 91. There's ants like this big on the floor crawling next to him while he's fixing the tire. You know, like all of these things, like we're getting ready to go down and have the ceremony and it starts pouring. But honestly, it was perfect because the water element was with us, you know, all the way through. So at the end of the day, it just ended up being so like perfect for us, not listening to what anybody else wanted us to do.
Correct.
Because when you start sometimes to open up and talk about your relationships, people are always going to have opinions. And what I really like appreciate about us is that we're clear on our vision. We're very much so on the same wavelength when it comes to these things. And we had people like, what, it's in Costa Rica, we can come. And imagine having 20 people the day of, you have a flat tire, you have to change the location, then it starts pouring, you're worrying about everybody else, how they're gonna be, all of that. We didn't have to do any of that. It was like close family, us, the waters, and the universe, and God watching over, and that was just perfect.
Yeah, and you know, and I can definitely say that, you know, when people say, you know, when they're in a relationship and they say, oh man, I would never marry it again, I would never believe in love, listen to me. It's gonna get you when you're unexpected. And when Ayhyssa came into my life, I was not looking for a relationship at all, not even remotely. I was celibate. And when she came in, it was just perfect timing. And even though that you was proposing to me in my sleep, I already knew that I was going to marry you. I already knew 100%. And when the day came, it was just real. And at one point, and I tell people, like, manifestation is real because, you know, when people came in my house, before I met Ayhyssa, I had hugged myself for 3 minutes. People may think that's crazy, but when you hug yourself for 3 minutes, you get this energy, you get this feeling. Take yourself out on a date. I had a positivity bowl, and I put this into the universe. I will love again. I will love again. And at my age, in my 40s, I believe that I'm going to find somebody. And when I truly found somebody, I knew it. I knew it in my heart. And that's why I was like, my future wifey. And our relationship started real fast. You know, I mean, we met on the 12th, and next thing you know, boom, we never left each other's side. Mm-hmm. And then we started to, I decided to join the Enagic with you, and we just took off like crazy, and we continue. And the thing is, this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of this journey, of this relationship. This is the beginning. And I can see so many different things in our relationship. And I want to say, baby, I love you so much. Aww. Because at the end of the day, I always say this, and if anybody listening, I want you to think about this. When you have a chessboard, right? You always got the king and the queen. A queen can move anywhere on the board, but the king can only move one spot. Without the queen, the king is nothing. I always say, checkmate, I protect the queen. I would die for my queen. And most guys out there, you need to die for your queen. Because if your queen is not worth dying for, she's not worth having you. You know what I mean? And that's just real.
Well said. Well said.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Boom.
That's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, no doubt. So we know how you got in the business.
Yeah.
But so Ayhyssa, how did you get introduced to like this part of the I want to call it like health industry. So from what I think of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think for me it was destiny. But I didn't realize that until like 3 years later. So like how I really got started is I gotta take it back a little bit for anybody who doesn't know me. I grew up in France in a small town, and I always dreamed about coming to the United States. Because in France, I was too black to be white, I was too white to be black, I was too African to be French, too French to be American. I just never really fit in. And even when I got bullied, I just still wanted to like wish the best on people. I always wanted to help people. I always wanted to help the planet and just be in a place where that was appreciated. And so I ended up moving to the United States. I begged my family. They made it happen. And then I came here for the American dream and realized it's not really done like that anymore. So I was sold on this recipe, this magic recipe that was really perpetuated in a lot of the movies that we saw growing up in foreign countries of like you go to school and you have the super cool high school experience, then you go to college, you get the degree, then you get the degree, you'll get the good job, then you'll get the house and you'll get the family and you'll be happy. Ta-da!
Yeah.
And, you know, I got about halfway through that recipe. I went to school, I got the degree, I came out of school and I found myself like, fuck, like I have to decide between using my degree and needing to have like 4 or 5 roommates and eating ramen, rice and beans and pasta every night, or just sticking in the service industry and being a server, bartender where I can make double what I would make with my degree. So I found myself being just, you know, like lost, to be honest. Like I always had big dreams. I feel like growing up, I think all of us as kids, we have big dreams, and then we just things will happen that just start chipping away at them.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time I made my way to a 9 to 5, you know, and was making good money, and I was making my own schedule throughout the day, but at the end of the day, I only had 6 days of paid vacation per year. And every extra year you stayed, you get an extra day. Congratulations.
Wow.
And I remember, like, it's a long story, but I'll just make it short. Like, there's a day where I needed to take care of my body because I was sick, so that I could come back better the next day to help my bosses continue to build their business. And I had a really big meeting. I'm talking about, like, the next Morgan & Morgan of Orlando. I set up the meeting for them, and I reached out to them to get the rest of the day off so I could come back the next day for that meeting and crush it for them, for their dreams. And guess what?
I said no.
They just never even answered.
Really?
I called, left a voicemail, texted. They never got back to me. And it's all good, honestly. Like, now I see, like, how busy life can be, and I don't take it personally at all. But I am actually really grateful for that moment because it pushed me out. In that moment, I was like, what the heck am I doing? Asking somebody else for permission to take care of my own body so I can come back the next day to build their dream, their business. That doesn't make sense. Like, that just doesn't make sense. And I did what I think any good person in the 21st century would do. And I went scrolling on Instagram. I saw a girl living my dream life that I had met one time. I took a shot and I was like, what do you do? I see you traveling all around the world. I know you're working in health and wellness because she was a yoga teacher and a nutritionist. But how do you actually get to make this work online? And QN, you know, this movement that we're a part of, and it absolutely changed my life. You know, I've been able to quit that job I just talked about. I've been job-free for 3 years. I've been traveling the world. Then I got connected with Mustafa, and now we're traveling the world together.
Yes.
I get to go home to my grandpa every summer, who's going to turn 92. Like, we get to have as much time together as we want. And I'm not saying that to brag. Like, I just really put in the work and put in the reps. It wasn't just signing up and then it happened, but I was willing to make some of the sacrifices, and, you know, then you get the reward.
Absolutely. And I see y'all, and we'll get into that in a second because the levels of success that you've reached are incredible in your business and what you've done, because you're like a 3-time champion type, you know? But before we get into that, like, so let's dial back for the audience that, you know, we talked about alkaline and we talked about acidic, but what is the importance of alkaline water? Can you, like, dumb that down for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think first we have to just come back to the importance of water in general. You know, we have like 3 most precious commodities. The first one is air, you know, then you have water and time. Some people might say they're out of tie, and yet there's no education at all on the type of water that we put into our bodies. We've been, you know, doing workshops and presentations, even in medical schools, anywhere from elementary school to medical school. There's no education about water. So when we talk about the importance of putting something that's alkaline, Mustafa talked earlier how he was able to cure his own diabetes by going on an alkaline setting with his food. We could never say this water is a cure for anything, but we do know that diseases thrive in an acidic setting, and whatever you can put into your body that's alkaline is going to be better for you. So obviously the food is a huge one, but personally, I don't know that I could ever do what Mustafa did. Like, putting only alkaline food in your body is hard. You have to change your whole way of eating, of socializing, everything. Changing the water that you drink, you have to do that every day just to survive. Mm-hmm. And now you can bring yourself and your body from survival to thriving by putting something that is good for your body, it's good for your cells, it's good for every organ, and it's good for the planet.
Gotcha. So sometimes you do a demonstration for the people. When you do the demonstration, what is it showing them?
Well, I do feel like I have to say that if anybody here is, interested in actually seeing it, the video can explain it so much better than I can into words, to be honest. So if you have a link or somewhere where we can put the link to a video for the notes of this podcast would be way better than me trying to explain with words. But to make it simple, there's 4 things that we need to look for in our waters. And the majority of us only know about number 1, which is this clean or contaminated?
Right.
That's why we're sold on bottled water, because it's purified water, right? Or filtered water. That's why we're sold on Brita filters or fridge filters, but that is just like the tip of the iceberg. And what's actually under is finding a water that's actually going to have a good pH for you, that's going to be absorbed by your body well, and what was the last one? And anti-aging as well, because water can have properties to be antioxidant, to be anti-aging to the body. So it's crazy to think, like if I'm bringing myself back to where I was 4 years ago, I never thought that water could be aging you faster.
Right. But
it can. It can cause oxidation in your body if it's not the right one. And who wants that?
Right. Nobody wants that.
Except the kids in the elementary school. I'm like, if you drink this wine, it makes you go older. Do you want that? They're like, yes. I'm like, no, wrong question.
Heck yeah. I think that's actually what gravitated me, because I don't know if they don't know the story, but I seen a video of yours on Instagram first, and you did a demonstration with the water. And I was intrigued, like, oh my gosh. And then I'm not sure if you tagged your husband at the time, but for somehow I found him. So I said, I'm following both these people. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a vibe, And then I want to say that Mustafa's follow-up game is amazing. Because immediately when I follow, and I'm not big on social media when it comes to like communicating with people, but I followed him and he wrote me back and sent me a voice note and said, hey, my brother, thanks for the follow. How'd you find me? And I got nervous. I dropped my phone. I'm like, boop, boop. And I never replied back because I was like, this AI stuff is crazy. And this is before AI was.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah. So it was.
Did I reach back out again?
You did. It was a blessing.
Probably 6 months later, 1 month later.
Yeah. No, he reached back again. But what hit it on the head was we crossed paths again at a barbershop. And that's when I knew it was destined to connect, So that changed my life. So, and that's how it happens. So I got involved with the water. So most people that want to do better for themselves, they come in as a customer, right? And I know that with the business, they have an opportunity to become a distributor because people naturally want to share what they found, to share with other people. Does it naturally happen where they become distributors as well?
All the time. Sometimes people ask us like what we do, and there's a simple answer, and there's also the answer that water will fill whatever crevice in your life. Like if you poured water on this table, it would fill this. Like whatever, you put water in, it becomes the container, and we really get people that come to us, for the health reason, but sometimes it's mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and sometimes it's from the finances. But whichever way, I feel like someone ends up coming into the movement, they end up staying for every aspect of it, like the physical, the financial, the emotional, and the spiritual as well, too.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people, once they see the opportunity, because some people come into businesses just about making money. That's the goal. And some people like to use the product first and it naturally comes. When you have a company like yours that may not be based out of the U.S. and people understand that they can get compensated for helping other people, they want to say, is it a pyramid scheme? How do you describe the structure of the company so it can help other people understand that it's not a pyramid?
Yeah, I mean, what's your definition of a pyramid scheme? What do you mean by that?
I've never done it. Oh, that's what you'd ask them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm asking you too because
Yeah.
everybody has a different idea.
Well, I've never been part of one, so I don't know. I know multi-level marketing was very popular.
Yeah.
But even like in things that let me think what I do. Just like people like people that build teams, like insurance agents build teams, real estate brokerages build teams. There's a downline. There's a real estate company called EXP where they had it where you can, everyone that you bring on, you
Right.
get a percentage of them. So
Yeah.
people just not understanding something, they want to call it a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Back in
Yeah.
the day, there were other things that people get involved in, but you can never level up. So I guess that's where the term came from. But anytime people see that there's opportunity for growth, for building underneath you, there's always that negative, you know?
Yeah. That's why I love to ask the question because I find that most of the time people don't have a clear definition of what that means. It's just something they heard their cousin or their
Yes.
auntie or their parents say. And if you look at the, like a scheme, by definition, is something where people are getting bamboozled, you know, like they're either paying, not receiving a product or being promised something. Like we don't make any promises and you always receive a product that's worth it in itself. Whatever you decide to do with it, it's worth its weight in gold or 10 times over in dollars, to be honest, for the value of what you get from the product. And I wouldn't necessarily always answer this, but depending, on the person and how open they are, I would say, well, what business or structure do you know that's not a pyramid? Our family is a pyramid. Right? Like if you look at it, right?
Yeah, the
And you look
hierarchies.
at your ancestors, like any job or business has a pyramid to it because guess what? You have the CEO at the top that's making all the money. And then you have the managers, and then you have the employees. What's really cool about our movement is actually the money gets paid to the person at the bottom first. So the person that's at the top doesn't necessarily get paid the most. Because I find that usually that's where people are like the most skeptical because they don't want to just put in all this work and make somebody else, like more rich than them. And what's really beautiful is like for me, actually, the woman that I told you about that introduced me to this movement, I came in and I make more than her and I've surpassed her. So just because I'm rising doesn't mean she's rising as well if she's not active. So the person that's the most directly connected to the expansion is going to be the one that's most rewarded, not necessarily the one at the top.
I love it.
Would you add anything to that?
No, I mean, that's just real. Yeah.
Shout out to the lady that bet you first to put you on.
Do you want to know something crazy, though? I got to share this. She is a friend of a friend, fellow traveler. He had asked me, I used to have like the lake house with an extra bedroom. And he said, hey, this is my friend. We backpacked through Asia together. I want her to check out Florida. Do you mind if we stay at your place like one night? And that, the ripple effect, like that's why I always say, if you're seeing something, if you're hearing something, like trust that it's for a reason. Everything happens for a reason because nothing happened then. Like we went on a boat ride and, I asked her, what do you do? And she said, oh, I just help people online. And she didn't try to like recruit me or sell me anything. Even when I reached out to her, that was me reaching out to her because her lifestyle was so magnetic to me. Of being able to travel the world, backpack, do headstands in Asia, and now it's so surreal. We're about to live that next week, but it started with just that one connection.
Yeah.
That ripple effect was so real. So,
Yo, shout out to y'all. The key word, you said you about to live that next week. I want to congratulate y'all for being top producers in your business, because, I mean, your story is very motivating. Somebody's watching right now and it's like, how do I get on, But so now the levels, the person that put you on, you surpassed their levels on a different level. And now, I wanted to get you guys up here because I'm not going to see you for a while. You're going to be traveling the world.
that's bittersweet.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm excited. But tell us about the plans, like where you headed.
Oh my God! First, we're gonna head to Japan. I'm pretty excited for Japan. We got a 50-year anniversary with Enagic, and we're gonna be on stage in front of 10,000 plus people on stage. I'm excited for that.
I'm nervous.
They all know you already.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. But also, I wanted to go back because of something that you said. I wanted to let people know we celebrate when other people win. We love that. You know,
Absolutely.
like it's, some people say, it's the money, it's the money. Something that's, for me, money is good, it's not evil. But when other people say, oh my God, I'm in the process of quitting my job because of this, I do see the community. That makes me feel good when other people win that we bring along, because we want other people to win real bad. And that's why we do what we do so strong and so heavily, because it's all about helping people in the community so much.
Absolutely.
So much. And that's one of the reasons why we're at a place that we're at now, because we have helped so many people reaching their points and pushing them where they need to be. And sometimes some people say, oh my God, this is a lot of work. But at the end result, they'd be like, oh, wow. Wow, thank you. Because we see something in people maybe they don't see right now. And the tools that we're using, and let me give a shout out to Eric Worre. We was definitely at his house, and we learned a lot. And I thank Ayhyssa for introducing me to Eric Worre, because I didn't know anything about him, and he's the guru of network marketing, and he have taught me a lot and taught Ayhyssa a lot, and that's something that we use as well. But getting ready for Japan is exciting. I'm excited for that, and hopefully we'll be in Thailand as well. Yeah.
So maybe Thailand, like the big reason why it's hard for us to give any definite for where we'll be is because we're going where people want to build, where it's also like a dope place to visit.
Yeah.
So what happened was...
Did she tell you we booked a one-way ticket?
Yeah, we love to travel, and we love our team, we love everybody. And we started doing trips to go build out teams, and we end up being in really cold, rainy places. And like, it's all good. It was amazing experience. But every day I journal like different goals, and like I manifested him into existence. Everything that he embodies, I wrote it down in a list before, and I do the same for everything, for my dream day, my dream opportunity, my dream home, all of these things. And I was journaling. I'm so happy and grateful right now that we're expanding to new places and meeting people in new countries, but I wasn't being specific that those places had to be warm and dope to visit. So we met someone in Costa Rica. He's from Mexico, but he also travels to host yoga retreats, and he does them in a different country every month. And he's going to be our new business partner. And he was telling us, like, yo, you can come and do a workshop on the water. It goes perfect with yoga and, spirituality and health and wellness. Yeah. So he invited us to Portugal and to Morocco as well. So we're looking to make that happen. We'll be in France for sure because my grandpa turns 92. Really? And you best believe we're going to go hiking with him. He drinks the water. His doctor can't believe, how much healthier his body has gotten. Even at his age, he started at 88. Wow. And I'll just say this. Some people say, like, oh, it's too late for me. I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 40, And my grandpa started drinking this water at 88. Now he's 92.
Wow.
And he hikes.
Strong.
And he skis.
And skis.
Oh, my gosh. That's what's up. If that's not motivating, I'm going to tell you.
It's like the next 2 months.
I love it. So tell us where we can follow you.
Well, you can follow me at King Mustafa H2O on IG and Mustafa Fowler on Facebook as well. And YouTube channel, King Mustafa H2O as well.
Awesome. And you can find me at Vibe with Ayhyssa. Ayhyssa is AHYSSA. If we can write it down, that would be awesome. Or it's like Alyssa, but without the L and an H instead, if that helps. Before we wrap this up, I have to pull a Uno reverse.
Okay,
there we go.
Why don't you share with everybody what's inspired you to, to invest into yourself and into your health in the first place, and where you see things going for you in the future?
Well, I think health is a big thing, and I think that once I understood what the alkaline diet was about, and just how the disease can't live in the body. That's where it started for me, and I was like, I want to start fighting back because growing up in this American culture, we eat whatever. Yeah. We drink whatever. We're not taught that type of stuff. And I want to be able to live. I'm a father of 4 daughters. And I said, all right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on this. So I started there. And then I wanted to, not knowing a lot, but knowing I'm going in the right direction, I put it in the house and have all the kids drinking it. So making water for my parents as well. And that's where it started. So then after taking it to, I was teaching a class, and I realized I have 15 people in front of me, and I'm drinking my water to them. You know how you want to force yourself to drink? So I took it with me to a class, and everyone's intrigued on why do I have water in a plastic bag? So all I can remember is Mustafa telling me about microfibers in the plastic and, plastic bottles on the truck and the heat. And then what happens, and then they put it on the shelf and you buy it and you think it's fresh. So I came back with that real quick. And I said, and it was like, yeah, it had the attention, right? So tomorrow, I'll come back with some jars. So I came back and tried to do a demonstration, So that's when I started saying, well, if I'm in front of people, because I do have a following and I am a leader in my own circle, and I said I wanted to start teaching more people about it, because in the business of real estate, the money is the hustle, right? You go in, but if you don't take care of yourself, what good is being rich, right? So that's where I said I got to get with you guys. I got to get with them because I need to learn more and I need the tools and I want to, spread the word. So now that I got a hold of you, and now that I got tools, because I was playing with them the other day, my goal is to spread the word and to bring awareness and to be an example.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's definitely inspiring to see, and something that I noticed over these last few years, just being in personal development around entrepreneurs and successful people, that I appreciate it about the journey with you is that I noticed successful people make decisions quick. Yes. Like once you saw the information, like yes, maybe when you first met us and you saw on Instagram, you didn't know who we were, anything like that. But from the moment you actually met Mustafa in person to getting the machine in your home, you did that pretty quick. And that's a trait, for anyone that's listening, we're talking about passion over profit. So I'm assuming a lot of people here are entrepreneurs, like make decisions quick when you see something and it makes sense. Trust that you're seeing it for a reason, right? If everything is pointing in the right direction. So I'm excited for the future.
Yes.
I'm excited to be able to help a lot of people together.
Yes. We're going to be calling you remote. We FaceTime.
Hey. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not letting y'all go.
We're not going on vacation. We're on a mission.
Yes. I love it.
I think that's the difference when you're on a mission versus just working, just to pay the bills. Is like, this is not stopping because we're traveling. If anything, this is going to be growing even faster and bigger than ever. So This is the right time, right place.
I love it. Man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. You know what I'm saying?
It's all love, man. It's all love. And can I leave out with a couple things?
Absolutely.
All right. So if anybody listening, and I always say this, you can write it down, take a picture. I don't care, Snapchat it, Facebook, whatever you got to do. But this right here is going to lead you to success right here. And I want you to listen what I got to say. Procrastination is assassination to your destination. And I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm going to break it down to you. Procrastination means a person is lazy. They don't really want to do nothing. Assassination is I just executed my mind. Some people are so lazy they kill their mind before they even get to their destination. So I say procrastination is assassination to your destination. If you want something in life, you got to go get it. Nobody not gonna be like, knock, knock, opportunity, come on. You got to go get it, and you got to put in the work. Trust me, I'm living example. I'm from West Baltimore. They labeled me, hey, you can't read or write. And I know I can't read or write, but that's never my weakness, and is not my weakness. So I wanna inspire you. If you're listening, you got to go get it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do this or you can't do that. You can do anything that you want to. It's all about breaking that curse, that cycle. Let's break it and let's go get it.
Boom.
That's it.